So it's day one of the vlog, day two of us being here. It's 6:37 in the morning. We're going to the Vatican. Here we got a little walking tour. And then we're just gonna walk about for a bit. We got the whole afternoon spare. It's just gonna be a fun old time. I thought I'd take you along with me. You're probably not gonna see much in the Vatican because I don't know whether I'm gonna be allowed to go, oh, let's film the Pope masturbating. I don't think that's a good idea. But I'll film as much as I can. And yeah. Let's do some good things together. It's pretty good in here actually. Peaceful, quiet. Look at that, that's under construction, but it's still pretty in its own way, I suppose. And it's pissing down, or it's gonna, and it ain't even cold. It's unlike the UK in every way. And it's not even part of Italy, apparently. I learned something new today. They have their own police people, they have their own, basically the army. And apparently, according to our tour guide, they look like clowns, so that'd be fun to go and pose next to, and get stabbed and die. I'd rather die in Italy than England, I suppose. So we've just entered St. Peter's Basilica. It's the biggest church I've ever been in. For example, that right there says London St. Paul's Cathedral. And they really, I think they might be compensating for something, because what they're doing is they're showing where the church starts and then all the way down the end is where it ends. So that's how long St. Paul's Cathedral is. But they're like, oh, look at the extra length we've got. You know, they're just compensating for something. It's very gold in here. Very Catholic. Roof's pretty though. If you're into half-naked men, make sure you pop down to the Vatican if you're ever in Rome, because there's a lot of them painted on the walls. These little Swiss guard people, they're dressed like clowns. They do actually, look at their little fuzzy hats and hands. Jesters. They're like little jesters. So we just come out of Vatican City, and right over there is St. Peter's Basilica. Very, very fun trip. I enjoyed it a lot. If you're gonna do it yourself, then take Sam's advice. Get a tour guide. It basically skips all of that. All them people along there are queuing to get in there, and I wouldn't queue. Get yourself a tour guide, pay that little bit extra, and then you get someone talking you through the history. And honestly, if you like that sort of stuff, very, very worthwhile. It's very Catholic-y. This place is very Catholic-y. If you're not into religious extortion and all that past stuff, you might be like, oh, why are they using gold and then there's donation boxes everywhere? I thought that too, but let's be fair, they've got to restore things from like the 1500s, so it takes a lot of money and it takes a lot of work. The Sistine Chapel was really nice. I couldn't take any pictures in there because they say no pictures, no talking. People were doing it anyway, but I wanted to respect their wishes. It's a very fun trip. I'm going to get some food now. I took loads of pictures, so here's some pictures. Here's some nice pictures of the whole trip. This right here is why all kids are assholes. That poor horse didn't ask for his tongue to be grabbed like that. He's just riding in the water, and this little fucking 5-year-old comes along, grabs his tongue, and now look at the distress in his eyes. That fucking distress in his eyes. I'll tell you what we should do. All kids under the age of 16, just throw them in a prison until they get to 16, and then they could be released on the streets. How about that? So we're just entering the Pantheon. This is something else. This is an old Roman temple. It's very spacious. It's lovely. We're heading to something called the Mouth of Truth, but we keep getting distracted by things like this that you just randomly walk past and you don't even know you're walking past it. Like, this is the Theatre of Marcellus. Looks like a Colosseum really, but it's not. It could be an amphitheatre, it could be a normal theatre, who knows? But I'm gonna have a little walk around it find out more, because this is fucking cool. I think everyone should subscribe to Samosh on YouTube, 100%. I've still got my hand, it's the truth. So I put my hand inside the mouth. Don't usually do that, I usually put my penis inside the mouth. I said that everyone should subscribe to me on YouTube, and I've still got my hand, so it must be true. All of you lot, that little red button down there, click it. If you're enjoying it, let me know in the comments. That's probably going to be it for today. Tomorrow we got a Colosseum tour. We're going to go down to the arena, and I'm going to pretend that I am a gladiator and I'm stronger than I am. And then we're going to walk around the forum, so that should be fun. Then the day after that we're going down to Pompeii. So I'll see you tomorrow. It's been a lovely walky day. There's going to be more of them. So see you soon. Good night. God bless. Love you lots. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It's day 3 for us, but day 2 for you on this vlog. I'm actually chilling with my homie. He's lost his penis, so I kind of feel sorry for him a little bit. But he's a couple thousand years old, so I ain't gonna complain. I don't think my penis will work after a couple of thousand years, so I'm gonna let him off. But in all seriousness, we're about 5 meters underground. Up there is the floor level today, and here is flooring that the Romans used to walk on thousands of years ago. This is the old Olympic Stadium, and oh my god, literally, how is this still standing? And yet people nowadays complain about tiny little holes on the road, and you know, they happen after weeks. This is standing after thousands of years. Honestly, we've got a few things to do today. I'm gonna walk around here, listen to this little audio guide that I've got, and then we're gonna head to the Colosseum, and then I'm gonna pretend to be a gladiator, walk around the old arena floor, and we're gonna have some fun times. But honestly, this is absolutely incredible. The fact that these archways, people walked under thousands of years ago. I've never seen anything like it. I've been to crazy places in the world, but I've never seen anything quite like this. So we're on our way to the Colosseum, and we just walked past the Altar de Fatherland. We're going to be back here later to check that out, but look how impressive that building is. Holy shit. Another thing is I had to take my coat off and ditch that because it's fucking, for February, it's boiling considering what I'm used to. At the moment, it's flooding in the UK. I'm enjoying the sunshine. Everyone else has still got like their winter coats on and stuff like that, so you can definitely tell I'm a tourist, but it's really nice out here. Blue skies, beautiful scenery, a few police cars and ambulances, so something must have gone on, but better than London so far, that's for sure. There it is, the Colosseum. Lucky for me, we paid a little bit extra to get the skip the line, which allows us to not queue and all that shit over there, and we just go straight in. We also get arena access, so we get to go down where the gladiators once stood, and then we get the rest of our day free, so that's a good thing. Like I said with the Vatican, if you get skip the line stuff, you're not sitting in there for 2 hours. You just get in there, you got more time for your tour and more time to free up for the rest of your day. But look how cool this is. We're about like 5 meters on ground level higher than they were. So can you imagine how tall that would be? So we're currently on the second tier of the Colosseum. In the background you can see the Forum, and that's where we're heading next. Honestly, we got premium tickets for this, which was still a self-guided tour, but all I've noticed that was premium about it is we got to walk through the gladiator entrance, but other than that, they open a gate for you, and you skip the line, they open a gate for you, and then you go in and everything's open to the public anyway. But honestly, very, very fun indeed, that's for sure. Very, very fun. Personally, I would go here 100% for like 40 euros for 2 of us. I think it cost us to skip the line, go through the entrance. It's a wonder to be seen. If you're coming to Rome, you've got to see the Colosseum, and yeah. Next stop, the Forum. This is by far my favourite bit of the trip at the moment. This is the Forum, and we got it alongside the ticket to go into the Colosseum, so we get to walk around this lovely area with nice Roman buildings as well as just ruins everywhere. It's absolutely incredible that buildings like this, thousands of years later, are still standing, and with little to no restoration, it's still standing strong. It's honestly absolutely incredible. It's not expensive, so I would recommend it if you're coming down here just to have a walk around. They do shut parts of it quite early, so you're just gonna have to get here, say you get here like before midday or something like that, and then you'll have plenty of time to just walk around, take in the sights and just be amazed like I am. Like, let's do a loop and you can see like all this back here and all of these sort of things just behind me is just, honestly, I've never seen anything quite like it. We got sidetracked again, we're on a horse. We were meant to go to the altar of the fatherland, but turns out we're not. We're on a horse now. So our horse and cart finally took us back to where we wanted to be, and we're at the altar of the fatherland. Sarah is here, you haven't seen her much this trip, but that's because she's so short she's always out of camera view. But yeah, it's a nice view up here. That's the first king of Italy, and it's bloody beautiful up here actually, isn't it? Yeah. We're gonna have a look around here, read some things if there's things to read, but other than that, just admire the view really, because look at that square, that's gorgeous. That's absolutely gorgeous, with the hum of sirens in the background. This really is Italy in its finest. But yeah, then we're gonna go drink probably, and then sleep, because we've got Pompeii tomorrow, so we've got to travel down to Pompeii, and then view all that shit, so that'd be fun. So we're slowly making our way back to our hotel, but obviously, as becoming apparent, we take a lot of detours, hence the reason we've ended up in this nice little park. It's quite peaceful other than the traffic in the background, but we actually took a really nice scenic route. We went past Trevi Fountain, and that was beautiful. If you're ever there, take a trip there, because actually we've been there every night that we've been in Rome so far. It's a really nice thing to just sit down and relax and contemplate life. But the reason we're heading back to the hotel is because we've got a really early start tomorrow. We're going to Pompeii, and that's a full day of just constant walking and a long travel. So we're gonna have to wake up really, really early. But not only that, we've got Thursday, Friday and half of Saturday still in Rome after that, and we need to make a priority list because we have a completely free itinerary, and we want to know the things that we still haven't seen and the things we want to see, and then the things that we want to go back to and see again. So we're going to make a list of priorities of things that we need to do in these next 2.5 days, and then we're going to get that done, and then hopefully we can show you around Rome a bit more. I've loved this city so far, and I hope you have enjoyed following me along for the past 2 days. So guys, I'm going to go to sleep now. Good night, God bless, I'll see you in the morning for Pompeii. Good morning, it's Pompeii day. I'm just waiting for a taxi to take us to our meeting point, and then we're gonna get on our way. Like I said yesterday, really early start. It's gonna be a fun one though, so I hope you enjoy it as much as I will. So after a 2.5-hour drive and a short walk around Naples, we are here on the outskirts of Pompeii. It was a really nice day today, as well as the volcano is nice and in show in the background. Behind me over there you can see the ancient walls, which we'll be heading into in a second for our guided tour. But there should be plenty to see in there, which I'm hella excited for. So let's go walk around Pompeii.
Imagine being on top of the theatre. This is one of the bigger theatres in Pompeii, and seeing that volcano erupt. It's absolutely insane, but the views are absolutely incredible. So we've just walked through an old brothel, and up against every door there was a sort of a menu of what you could buy for an activity in the evening. Really weird, but you know, I wish they would do more of that now. Maybe Amsterdam does, who knows, let's visit. So once again I'm back here where I started at the beginning of my Pompeii trip. Behind me again the ruins that were buried for so many years, and just for a few centuries this place was running, but then just got completely covered in volcanic ash. It's unbelievable to believe. The fact that you can see the actual casts, the plaster casts of the bodies where they died instantly in 180 degrees Celsius heat was absolutely incredible. All the wood was burnt. Honestly, absolutely amazing. Come to Pompeii, 100%. Most favourite thing that I've done in Rome so far, and most favourite thing that I've done in Italy. Honestly, come here and then just have a look at the wonders. I didn't see my guy, you know, there is a guy in there somewhere jerking his todger. I haven't seen that. I probably will go back one day just to roam around without a guided tour, just to sort of take in the sights a bit more, to feel like you aren't so rushed. But obviously we've got to get back to a coach. But honestly, for the few hours that I was in there, absolutely perfect. I loved it. You should 100% come and do this. If you're going to come to Italy, visit Naples and Pompeii, 100%. There are just random wooden dildos hanging up in the souvenir shop. I think I might buy them and send them to all my friends. Like, wood. The most comfortable thing to shove up your vagina or your ass. I'm not fussed, really. Both of them at the same time, why not? So we've got a little pit stop now. Coaches are over there, Sarah's there, but like I said, with camera view, she's always literally out of frame. But we had an amazing day, honestly, absolutely amazing. We're heading back to Rome now, where we're gonna just go to the Lego store because we want to buy a Lego Gladiator, why the fuck not? And then we're gonna go for a walk, get some food, and then just chill out for the rest of the evening. Tomorrow, we've got our plan to go to Florence, and then we're going to travel to Pisa to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's very last minute. When we was doing our priority list yesterday, we was like, yeah, let's fucking do it, why not? So we're getting a train to Florence, spending the day in Florence and traveling to Pisa as well. And then Friday we're going to do the Pantheon again, and we're just going to go to all the places that we didn't spend much time last time. So this is going to be fun. I'll see you back in Rome. So we're heading towards the Lego store. It's literally just over there. I can see it now. But we didn't realise it closes at 8, and we didn't get back into Rome until 7:15. So we've had to really sort of pace ourselves here. And that, and getting stuck behind some of the slowest people in the world, it made us like proper on the button whether we're going to make it in time for it to be open or not. We only want a fucking Lego Gladiator. I don't see what the big deal is, but fuck it, we're here now. It was open, but they didn't sell any of them but smaller. And that's depressing, so we settled for Star Wars stuff instead, but it's not very Italian, is it? So this is going to be Caglione Ren, and that would be Bolognese 8, I suppose. Because there's got to be some sort of Italianness to it, isn't it? Otherwise, what's the point? We rushed here for that, and we didn't even get one. How depressing. So we're heading for some dinner tonight. I'm a little bit pissed off though, because Sarah's walking down the street and so was I, and this random Italian bloke just handed some roses to Sarah and was like, oh, you're beautiful, you're beautiful. I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. It's close to Valentine's Day. He's expressing goodwill to us tourists. And then he was like, oh, no, €5 for you, €5. 3 roses for her, €5 to me, please. And I'm like, all right, you shove roses in our faces, you call Sarah beautiful and hand her the roses, and then expect me to pay for them. I'm beautiful. I should be getting the roses. No. Oh, give me the roses. They're my roses now. Oh, fucking beautiful. I do find it funny that the first place we take you guys for food, it's not to an Italian restaurant, but to a Chinese one. But nevertheless, it's lovely in here, and the food's great too. Well, that was lovely. The outside of the restaurant don't look like too much, but once you're inside, honestly, the food and the service is absolutely brilliant, and the interior decor is pretty spot on too. We're going back to the hotel now because we are stuffed. We got little fortune cookies to take back with us, and then we're gonna rest because tomorrow we're going to Florence, and then from Florence we're gonna have a little trip out to Pisa to see the Leaning Tower of Pisa for a while, and then come back to Florence for the day. So it's gonna be another busy one tomorrow, and you're gonna follow us around with it as well. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night, God bless. See you Thursday. Wow, the week's gone so quick. Good morning, it's Florence Day. Little did we know though, it was so fucking expensive. Each ticket was €45 each way, and because we booked right at the last minute, me and Sarah aren't even sitting next to each other. We're on completely different coaches, and we're going in an hour's time, so we just gotta wait outside the train station for an hour, and then we're gonna be sitting at the other end of the train to each other. And for €180 return for both of us, hopefully Florence and Pisa are gonna be good. We haven't even got the Pisa tickets yet, but let's go straight to Florence in an hour, and I'll see you there, I suppose. So we're actually sitting next to each other anyway. There's plenty of spare seats here. The people that gave us the tickets lied to us saying this train was fully booked, so plenty of people actually didn't turn up in the end. But we're on our way to Florence now. We've got about an hour left of our journey, and we're going to travel to Pisa and then spend the day in them two cities. It's going to be great. I'll see you there. I'm going to go sleep. So we've just arrived in Pisa. So far so good. Behind me is the train station and a really nice little fountain. We're going to head about 25 minutes to the Leaning Tower, and there we're going to have some lunch. But honestly, so far so good. It doesn't look like there's any cobbled streets, which I'm starting to get fed up with. But there's still cobbled pavements, so you know, still kind of, it's alien I suppose. So yeah, let's walk through this historic city and then get to the Leaning Tower. We made it. We're at the majestic square where the Leaning Tower of Pisa is almost falling over. As you can see, right behind us, it's really fucking pissed. But honestly, walking through Pisa itself, the city is dead peaceful, very few cars and very few people, but as soon as you get to this square with the cathedral and the tower on it, it's absolutely manic with people, tourists, and just random people trying to sell you stuff. Honestly, this is like the most vibrant place I've been in the whole of Pisa, and there's plenty of things to do here. There's things to buy, there's things to eat and drink, and then you get to actually go into that tower. I'm not going to be doing that because I will be just throwing up all over the side. I don't like motion sickness, and being able to feel like I'm leaning constantly is not going to do me any good. But the fact that you can go in that is also another cool addition. You have to buy tickets, and there's plenty of ticket offices, but honestly, it's lovely. It's a lovely place. Let's go walk around it some more. Is there ever too much cheese in Italy? Food's beautiful. We actually took you to an Italian restaurant this time. That's good. And look at the view in the background. That's even better. Hopefully, this is as good as everything else we've eaten so far. Really nice food again. A lot lighter than what we would have had in Rome. So the pasta was a lot less filling, but honestly that might be a good thing because this is just a late lunch. We've got food in Florence to come, and it'll probably help my figure if I'm honest with you. I've put on so much weight lately, that needs to go. I might just live in Italy and eat light meals like this. So we're now heading back to the train station to say goodbye to the tower because that's the last you'll see of it. It's a nice little half day, I would say. If you go into Florence and get a train out to Pisa, it's nice to come and have some lunch, but there's not much in terms of a whole day or multiple days here. you would go to Pisa for sort of like a short visit and then go back to Florence, which is what we're doing now.
No more than like 3-4 hours.
Yeah, no more than 3-4 hours, and then you could just go back and enjoy Florence. So let's see what Florence has to offer, shall we? Welcome to Florence, everyone. We've got about 3 and a bit hours here before heading back to Rome, so we're going to make the most of it. We're going to go for dinner and we're going to see as many sights as we possibly can. The first is the Basilica, which is just behind that little steeple over there. So we're going to head that way and see what we can see and just try and cram in as much as possible in these little 3 hours. So let's go, shall we? Right behind me is our first stop of Florence, the Basilica di San Maria Novella. You can see it's a lot different to the cathedrals and the basilicas we've shown in Rome, and that's because it was built by a completely different group of people. This is 15th century Dominican, and you could definitely see that by the style of architecture. The building is two-tone, it's white and green, and then especially up at the top area here, you got mosaics by the windows to sort of give that sense of more windows than there actually are. And this big window at the top will let a lot of light in. I'm not very a religious person, but if you look at the architecture, it's definitely very detailed, and you can see they've put a hell of a lot of time into it. Very interested in the sort of the buildings in Italy, and Florence especially, because this style here, it looks like it's drawn rather than built. It looks like it's come straight out of a cartoon, and I absolutely love it. And you're not only surrounded just by restaurants and stuff like that, you've got a whole plaza where there's nice green areas, there's some sort of roses around here that have been cordoned off. It's just very peaceful and very nice. You've got tons of restaurants here, even if you just sit and just chill, it's a perfect place to do it. I've heard of Asian countries having weird vending machines, but never before have I seen a vending machine where you could buy some Durex. That's weird to me. But how much anyway? Just down there is our next stop, the cathedral. Let's get there quick. This place right here is where I say this art style is absolutely impressive. Behind me is the baptistry, which is its own separate dome-shaped building. And then over there is the cathedral itself. You can see tons of frescoes above the doors and this absolutely vast cathedral itself. And then you've got the dome on the back of it. This building is absolutely huge and the design detail is absolutely incredible. But over there is the baptistry, and that is equally as impressive with the gold door, and just the detail in the door itself is absolutely incredible. This building right here is probably the most impressive building I've seen on this trip to Italy by far. And I'll show you why with some close-up shots of the detail. So we're at the rear of the cathedral now, and they're actually doing some restoration works. You can see the scaffolding here and everything like that. It's a really good place to see the dome from ground level, but honestly, you just really want to bring your drone here if you've got one. Holy shit. It's so impressive and so vast. Even the construction and the restoration works and all the scaffolding, it doesn't take away from how impressive this building is. Getting up close and being able to see the doorways and see the intricate detail of them doorways and the buildings itself is honestly just out of this world. I stick by what I said earlier about this being the most impressive building that I've seen on my Italian trip. And if you're ever in Italy, let alone Florence, just in Italy in general, take the time and take the money to come down to Florence to see this site. It's absolutely incredible, especially even in the evening. It's all lit up by street lights and it's just, God, so impressive, so impressive. So we decided to stop for a bit of grub. The restaurant's pretty lovely looking, and sticking with the theme of lovely views, just to my right, we got that. So this is a traditional dish of Florence, and so good, so good. I can't fault any food that I've had so far. This is just as good. Thin and crispy, but I love it. We have approached our next stop on our little Florence trip. We're at the Plaza della Repubblica, and that means fun little merry-go-rounds, music, and a really cool archway. Let's have a little walk around, shall we? I will stand by you forever. Oh, you can't take my breath away. So we've now arrived at Plaza della Signoria, our next stop in Florence. Behind me is Plaza Vespuccio or something like that. I can't really pronounce it, but it's a 13th century fortress, and you can tell the art style is completely different to the buildings we have been seeing. We've got a watchtower at the top, and just the brickwork is completely, it screams fortification, doesn't it? And then over here we've got a load of artwork and sculptures and statues, and then we've got a fountain dedicated to Neptune over there. But more importantly, out of everything, over there, that's a penis right there, what I'm pointing to. That right there is the statue of David, and I've got to get a closer look because I've got to see the anatomy of this penis to see if it's accurate, because I am, of course, an expert in those. One thing I will say about Florence is you don't really see streets like these unless you're exploring, so giving yourself just a couple of hours to see as much as possible is not ideal, although Florence seems to be a lovely city, so we're going to see one more thing before heading back to the train station. And that right there, that's it. It doesn't look like much from here, but just a couple of meters from the Plaza della Signoria is something quite unique. Houses, shops, built on top of a bridge that leads over the canal. And honestly, it's so strange and unique that I don't think anywhere else in the world has stuff like this. Let me show you down the street to see what it looks like if you were going over the bridge. You'll just look like you're going over a normal street. And this is what the bridge looks like. It doesn't look like much but an ordinary street, but you go somewhere over there and you go over there and you'll see water surrounding you. It's completely unique, and I think architecture is one of Italy's strong points for sure. I've never seen anything like this. It's so unique and so different, and it's amazing. Honestly, incredible, unique, strange, but quirky and fun and brilliant all at the same time. That's it, officially back in Rome. It's about 1 AM. The train was a bit delayed. But honestly, I'm just happy we're back in Rome. I'm gonna get to the hotel, I'm gonna go sleep, and then we're gonna enjoy our final day, our final full day in Rome together. See you tomorrow, good night. Good morning, we are walking through the Borghese Gardens on our way to the zoo, because what better way to spend your final full day in Rome than walking around looking at exotic animals that aren't actually from Rome. But anyway, we're going to try and make the most of today, absolutely doing as much as we can. We're going to start off with the zoo, then we've got a tour of the Trastevere and the Jewish ghettos, then we're going to get some food because of course it is Valentine's Day. So we're going to try and just see as much as possible before flying home tomorrow, and we're taking you along with us. So enjoy today, I know I will. I thought we would get to the zoo in style, but no one told me this was a fucking lake. So we're just going around in circles for a few minutes before we actually have to walk to the zoo again, but I don't mind, because it's lovely. The architecture's nice, it's nice and peaceful. I haven't rowed a boat in years though, so this is definitely an arm workout. But wow, how peaceful. The sun's out, the birds are swimming, people are kissing, and that seagull wants a bit of action. Come here, beautiful. Maybe not. So we're now in the zoo. We've got about 2 hours here before we end up going to the tour of the Trastevere and the Jewish ghettos. So let's go see some really cool animals, shall we? So we're actually at one of the enclosures. Behind me is the wolf enclosure, my favourite animal of all time. And right below me there are the 4 wolves of this enclosure just sleeping, chilling out, enjoying the sun. A lot of the animals here are just enjoying the sun. They're not doing much, they're just relaxing. And the bears, they're in hibernation. But this zoo is not bad for a small zoo. There's a lot to see in such a small space, but that does mean the enclosures are quite small also. Like, these wolves should have a lot more space than just a fence over there to a fence over there. But what are you going to do? It's a small space, and obviously they want to bring in that money, don't they? But then poor things, they just look at them, they're asleep, they're gorgeous, I love them. I want to take them all home, but I'm really worried that I don't think they'll get through customs. Now I'm pretty sure there's alligators here, but these are prescription lenses and I can't see because it's so fogged up. So I'm just going to assume. I'm not going to win that steering contest, I don't think. So we made our way back to probably one of my most favourite streets in Rome. Altar of the Fatherland behind me, sitting in the sun, waiting for our tour to start just over the balcony of the Mussolini over there. So we got like a minute walk so we can chill here for a bit and then start our tour. So we just finished our tour of the Traverse, both Jewish and Roman side. We're currently standing on the Jewish side of the Traverse, where a lot of Jewish people still actually live. Behind me is a synagogue, and ever since the 80s, after a terror attack that happened here, there was 24-hour police posted around the synagogue, as well as the most cameras I have ever seen on a single street. Honestly, people just really should feel protected here. Police everywhere, cameras everywhere. Yeah, very protected. But not only that, we learnt about Jewish slaves in the ancient times of Julius Caesar, and also when the Nazis came here in 1943. There are plaques all over the ground here of people that were taken and people that were just taken to Auschwitz straight away in 1943, and it really is moving. Over there behind me is a school, and on that school is a plaque, and that plaque says 112 schoolgirls. There's some of the police I was talking about. There's 112 schoolgirls were taken aged 14 to 18 to Auschwitz without even their family knowing. So it's very moving in this place. And not only that, but there's old buildings from the ghetto times of the 1600s. It's, yeah, crazy here, crazy. And for the fact that it was a free tour, you just paid what you wanted after and you paid how much it was worth, 100% felt like it was worth it. But yeah, amazing bit of history right here. Just before we go and grab food, I quickly want to show you the Marcello Theatre, which is just behind me. It's really cool because this was the original concept of the big fuck-off Colosseum that you see all the tourists going to. Believe it or not, this was actually built way before that, 20 before Christ to be precise. And this was used in a similar sort of way. They held gladiator fights here, they had opera here, singing, dancing, all that sort of stuff for up to 5,000 guests. And they used this originally way before Julius Caesar's time, and then when Julius Caesar came about, they used Jewish slaves as the first ever gladiators. What they would do is they would keep them as gladiators for 3 years, putting them in fight after fight after fight, and then if they survived 3 years of constant fighting, they would then just be let go and said, all right, you've served your time, now go and live like a normal person. But if any emperor, especially Julius Caesar, ever went like that, rather than like that after a fight, they would be executed right there and then. It's a pretty cool piece of history, but this inspired the concept of that big Colosseum over there. So behind me is the restaurant that we ate at. Sorry I didn't talk much in there, it was very loud and very busy, but honestly that is the best restaurant I've eaten in all of Rome. And that is because we've ate there actually twice. On our first night when we didn't film, we just walked around and randomly found the Colosseum. And we also found that restaurant. It's a 2-minute walk from the Colosseum, and the food in there is divine, and it's relatively cheap too. For example, tonight Sarah got a lump of steak. It was a huge steak, and it was only €13.50, whereas in the UK that would easily be £30–40. So very worthwhile, good atmosphere, and always friendly and busy. But it's our final night, so rather than letting this food coma get the best of me, me and Sarah were just going to walk around and do random shit. So let's go do that, yeah? So we've been walking around Rome for a little while now, and I've stopped in a few different bars. In each bar I've bought one rum and coke because that's the only alcoholic beverage I drink. And honestly, worst decision I've ever made. I should have just branched out and drunk beer or something, because each rum and coke cost me €10, and in the UK it only costs £4, so it's a complete another level. And I'd probably tell you why it's another level. It's like about 200ml of rum in your drink, and it's made me go blind in one eye, and it makes me want to fall over and die. But honestly, I love it because rum's great and rum makes me happy. But we've made our way to Trevi Fountain. Trevi Fountain is about 10 meters that way. I can't stand actually at Trevi Fountain and film this because it's so loud you won't hear me speak. Trevi Fountain is beautiful, there's tons of people, and the fountain is huge. You really can't miss it. But we've been here almost every night we've been in Rome. That's how much we enjoy Trevi Fountain. It's about a 10-minute walk from our hotel, so it's not that far either. And it's just a great place to just sit, relax. There's plenty of ice cream places around as well, so that just makes me happy in every way. That plus the rum makes a very, very good night. I'm just going to chill at Trevi Fountain until I pass out and the military take me to a hostage camp. So a quick hello and goodbye to the hotel room. Throughout the whole week you haven't seen this place once, and it's going to be the only time you do see it, because tomorrow morning we're actually flying back to England and it's 2 AM now. So we're going to get some sleep, and honestly this week has been incredible. I'm going to end the vlog here, but there is just one thing I got to say first, and that's thank you. Without you guys and your support on my YouTube channel, I wouldn't be able to do things like these, hence the reason I vlogged this trip in the first place. And not only that, you guys really wanted me to, so I hope you've enjoyed this vlog as much as I have enjoyed Rome and the rest of Italy. You've seen pretty much everything we've done, and I've loved every second of it. You guys are incredible, I love you, and I'll look forward to making Escape from Tarkov videos as soon as I get back. I'm missing it if I'm honest, so good night. I'm gonna go fly back to England and make more content for you lot.